the monk who forgot to dream. In the heart of the misty mountains, where the air was as still as a mirrored lake, lived a young man named Taro. His face, though young, was often a stormy sea of frowns, and his words were as sharp as the stones on the winding path to his home. Taro was not an evil man, but his heart had grown heavy with anger and his days were filled with unkindness. This inner turmoil had stolen his peace, and with it, his sleep. Every night, he lay awake, his mind replaying every sharp word he had uttered, every unkind thought he had held. He sought guidance from the wise Zen master of the local monastery, a man known for his serene smile and deep wisdom. "Master," Taro said, his voice raw from exhaustion, "my mind is a battlefield, cannot find rest. What must I do to find sleep again?" The master, with eyes as calm as a moonlit sky, looked at Taro not with judgment, but with profound kindness. He did not offer a ritual or a tonic. Instead, he simply said, "Taro, your sleep has not left you. It has simply gone to wait for your kindness to return. When your heart is a garden of mindfulness and inner peace, your sleep will return to you, not as a reward, but as a reflection." To find the path back, you must first learn the art of Buddhist teachings. And so, Taro's journey began with a single, profound Zen story and the realization that his restless nights were a mirror of his waking hours. The master gave Taro a simple task. Every day, he was to fill a small, empty bowl with water. "The bowl is your heart, Taro. The water is your kindness," the master explained. "But you must not pour the water in. You must carry it from the stream in your cupped hands." Taro found this task frustrating. He would walk to the stream, cup the cool water, and begin the long walk back. But as he walked, the water would drip through his fingers, a constant and maddening reminder of his lack of control. By the time he reached the monastery, only a few drops remained in his palms. His frustration would build, and his already weary mind would become even more agitated. The little water he managed to pour into the bowl seemed insignificant, almost pathetic. One day, he returned to the master, his face flushed with anger. "This is useless, cannot fill the bowl. The water slips away no matter how hard I try. How can a few drops of water possibly bring back my sleep?" The master, with the same serene smile, simply picked up a worn, smooth stone from the ground. "This stone," he said, holding it out to Taro, "was once a jagged rock, sharp and unkind, but the river did not fight it. The river simply flowed over it, day after day, year after year. Now it is a smooth, gentle thing. You are trying to force your hands to hold the water, but they are not the bowl. The bowl is your heart. It will not fill with force, but with the steady, quiet flow of your intention." He then returned the smooth stone to the ground. Sleep does not return to a heart that is forced to be kind. Sleep returns to kindness itself. The master's words settled in Taro's heart like dust on a quiet floor. He went back to the stream the next day, but this time his approach was different. He no longer saw the water as something to be captured, but as an offering to the bowl. Instead of clenching his hands in frustration, he held them gently, a gesture of quiet intention. The water still trickled through his fingers, but Taro no longer fought it. He noticed the coolness of the drops on his skin, the light dancing on the surface of the stream, and the soft sound of the wind in the leaves. He realized that the water wasn't a task to be completed, but a lesson to be experienced. Each drop that fell was a moment of kindness given to the earth. Each drop he brought back was a quiet offering to himself. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, his heart began to change. He still didn't fill the bowl, but he no longer cared. The bowl was no longer the goal. The journey was the purpose. The act of carrying the water, of being present in the moment, began to soothe the storm within him. He started greeting the villagers with a gentle nod, and a few times, a genuine smile escaped his lips. The sharp edges of his tongue began to soften, like the stone in the river. That night, for the first time in what felt like an eternity, Taro's mind did not race. He lay down on his mat, and his body felt heavy and calm. He did not chase sleep, he simply welcomed it. His last waking thought was of the cool, clear water he had carried, and he drifted off into a deep, dreamless slumber. When he awoke, the sun was already high in the sky. He felt a profound sense of peace and a lightness he had not known since childhood. He went to the monastery, a spring in his step, and found the master watering the garden. "Master," Taro said, "I slept deeply. I did not fill the bowl, but I found rest. How can this be?" The master smiled and gestured towards a small, beautiful lotus flower blooming in a muddy pond. The lotus does not fight the mud. It simply grows, and in its growth it finds its beauty. You did not have to fill the bowl completely to find peace. You simply had to offer your heart to the act of kindness. The water you carried back was not for the bowl, Taro. It was for your soul. And as your soul began to fill with grace, your sleep returned to kindness. Word of Taro's transformation spread. The people who once feared his sharp tongue now sought his company. They noticed a gentle warmth in his eyes and a quiet wisdom in his words. Taro continued his daily ritual with the bowl, not as a penance, but as a practice. He learned to listen to the villagers' problems with a patient ear, offering a simple smile or a helping hand instead of a quick, dismissive word. One day, an old woman, who had always been a victim of his unkindness, came to him with a bundle of silk threads. "Taro," she said, her voice trembling, "I heard of your change. Please help me untangle these threads. My old eyes can no longer see the knots." Taro took the bundle, a small mountain of tangled frustration. He remembered the feeling of the water slipping through his fingers, and instead of becoming impatient, he saw the knots not as a problem, but as an opportunity for mindfulness. He worked slowly, deliberately, his fingers gently separating each thread. The work took hours, but his heart remained still. As the last thread came loose, the old woman wept with gratitude. "You have unraveled more than just these threads, Taro," she said. "You have unraveled the knots in my heart." That night, Taro's sleep was deeper than ever. He realized that the kindness he offered to others was the same kindness he was offering to himself. The act of untangling the threads had brought him a sense of calm and purpose that no amount of forced rest could ever provide. His mind, once a chaotic battlefield, was now a quiet garden. He realized that the master's lesson wasn't about filling a physical bowl, but about filling his life with small, meaningful acts of compassion. He no longer needed to carry water from the stream, for his own heart had become a well of kindness. He had discovered that sleep returns to kindness, not as a prize for being good, but as a natural consequence of a heart at peace. Years passed. Taro grew into a respected elder in the community. His wisdom was sought by many, not just for his words, but for the peaceful aura he radiated. He became a teacher, sharing the story of the empty bowl with anyone who struggled with anger, restlessness, or a lack of inner peace. He taught them that kindness was not a grand gesture, but a simple act, a gentle word, a patient ear, a heart open to the suffering of others. He explained that a kind heart was a home, and a home filled with peace was where sleep loved to reside. One day, a young man, much like the Taro of old, came to him with a troubled heart and sleepless eyes. "Elder Taro," he pleaded, "I am tormented by my thoughts, cannot sleep. Tell me, What is the secret to a restful mind? Taro smiled, his eyes soft with a lifetime of understanding. He gestured towards a simple, empty bowl on a nearby table. The bowl is not to be filled, he said. It is an invitation to be present, to be patient, and to be kind. For you will find that sleep returns to kindness itself. The young man's journey began where Taro's had, not with a solution, but with a question. And in the quiet act of carrying water, of being present with his own frustration, he too began to feel the sharp edges of his heart soften. He learned that the journey to peace was not about fighting the storm, but about becoming the quiet eye in its center. Taro's legacy was not a set of Buddhist teachings or a list of rules, but the profound truth that a life lived with kindness is a life lived in peace. He had learned that the most restorative sleep is not something you find in the absence of trouble, but in the presence of a compassionate heart. His life became a testament to the Master's simple words. Sleep returns to kindness. It was a truth not just for the quiet monastery, but for the whole world.